Jenny-Jaymes and our sidekick Christian Cano, partner in crime, is coming up next.
Hey everyone, I'm Jen's sidekick. Welcome to Two Queers in a Truck. Hi y'all.
See you soon. Good morning, everybody. It is Two Queers in the Truck, and it's Pride Month. So if you're seeing this for the first time, it is June 7th. And it's so weird to say. I mean, May went by so fast, but again, I'm here.
Exactly.
Jenny-Jaymes Gunn along with Christian Cano. It is for the people that watch us. They already see what's going on, but if you listen to us on a podcast, Christian's wearing his oversized Elton John 1970s cool kid sunglasses.
That's right, cool kid.
Key West visor cap on. Looks like he's ready for the beach already. It's beach season.
Already.
And it's summertime, and it's Pride Month, and it's all the things fun. It's one of my favorite times of the year is the big summer months of June, July, and August. It's typically better weather. You can get outdoors, and it's just, I don't know. It's I always look forward to summer. I'm a true summer baby. I love summer. I was born in September, technically at the very end of summer. And it just always every year, this is my Christmas or holiday season. This is, even though I love Halloween, I don't like fall weather and I loathe winter.
Oh my goodness.
So this is I'm almost like a farmer, Well,
I can see the excitement in you.
Oh yeah. It always, it's just, I always think summer's just for me, the funnest time of the year. And you get to see people going on vacations, and I worked in the vacation industry for so long. I also got wired up for summer for so many different reasons. And you can tell because even though we taped this on the last day, today is really, for us taping this is May 31st. So we tape these a weekend. And kids are already out of school. So if you're at a grocery store during the day, and I noticed this yesterday when I was running my errands and working, I look around and I was like, why are these kids out? Oh yeah, that's right, school. Yeah. We just have Memorial Day weekend.
You'll start seeing them around the streets and.
Oh yeah, they're already out on the streets, and I don't know if school's officially out or what, but I'm noticing more and more. I've seen some school buses still dropping off kids. So I don't know if this is the last week or what.
I think it's the last week.
Yeah, I think they're phasing out because I think some schools end earlier than others because we have mixed school systems here with I don't know if the charter schools,
private schools, the private schools I think are out.
Yeah, I think they usually try to get out as quick as possible, which is a whole different subject. But anyway, we will get started. If I can set my timer, it was fighting me. But the first subject is Jesus Chicken goes woke. Chick-fil-A hired a diversity and inclusion vice president last week, and the MAGA mouth breather bigots are losing their minds. Oh, we got to boycott. I mean, their new thing is they're really trying to push. They think they're powerful in boycotting these companies But, you know, companies go cyclical. You know, like InBev, they really thought they got a win. They didn't beat anything because after they had their stock adjustment, it's done nothing but rise up. It's like they made up and their stock price is higher than it ever has been. And they don't point that out. They only point out what happened in the spring because of some corporate profit adjusting, because the stock price didn't dip till 3 weeks after the whole Dylan Mulvaney thing happened. Target this time of the year is not good for any big box store. Their sales are always low in summertime. That's why they call it Black Friday. It's usually they don't make their big profits till the fall, to the holiday season. Now, obviously Black Friday, the shopping holiday during Thanksgiving weekend, and so on and so forth. So they think, you know, Target took a little dip of $10 billion this week. And I'm going, wow, it's because it's summertime. It's the start of the holiday season. Memorial Day weekend is always kind of the start of, you know, hey, let's go to the beach, let's go to this, let's go to the mountains. And, you know, especially families, this is their travel season. This is when their kids are getting out of school, or they're just taking them out of school because they're only like in the third grade. And they know the last 2 days of third grade, they're not going to miss anything. And they're going places. They're going to go do things. They're packing the kids in the family truckster and heading out. So retailers aren't selling a lot. They really don't start selling a lot till kids go back to school, and they have the back to school sales for school clothes and school supplies. And that really begins the fall uptick of retail sales that lasts all the way to the end of the year. And so these are the solid days for retailers. They're not dining on T-bone steaks right now. And so, you know.
Well, you know what, Jenny, I was thinking exactly what you're talking about, because I was reading about that this weekend as I was camping and looking for stuff. And what these, you know, Bible bigots and stuff, their argument, it's so silly, because in many ways, basically, what they're telling Target is they're giving Target a reason to promote Pride more, because they need it more now. Yeah. And so even if you go by their own argument, Pride doesn't start until officially June 1st. And so they were rolling some stuff out before Pride starts, so you could have all your swag before Pride starts. Yeah. Now they really need to sell Pride stuff, because apparently all their 10 people are no longer going to shop at Target. So, you know, what do they got to lose now? It's like, well, all right, well, heck.
One of the reasons I shop at Target versus other mass retailers is so that I don't have to see those schlubs.
Yes. Yeah.
Typically,
exactly.
I mean, I don't even care if it sounds bougie anymore. I don't want to be associated with people that are so stupid that they get triggered by a rainbow flag. That they've spent tens of millions of dollars in Republican-controlled legislatures trying to stop drag queens, trans kids, and all that, while ignoring major infrastructure issues, highway improvements, all kinds of other educational needs in their state. This is why their states are usually at the intellectual bottom of our country, is because they spend more. They'll spend, you know, because people don't realize legislatures, when they meet up in the spring and early summer, those legislatures are getting paid. They're spending money on these people to do the work. You know, opening up a Congress costs money. They don't work for free. And so what they're getting paid to do is legislate on the needs of the people and pass spending bills and other things, address the needs of the state. And they've chosen, in the 20 or so states they can have a complete control of, to spend time on problems that don't exist. Imaginary problems that go, oh my gosh, they're making kids trans and gay and all this. We got to stop the kids from transitioning. First of all, you're not going to stop a kid from transitioning. they can get mail order hormones. Like there's some big companies that are sending hormones and treatments, and kids can do psychological deals by Zoom. They don't have to go into an office. There's enough technology. No kids stopping hormones. It's illegal to stop somebody's medication. It won't happen. So nobody's missing their treatments at the end of the day. I know that for a fact. And so what these chuckle fucks have done is only make themselves stupid, waste taxpayers' money, and then they end up going into special sessions, which cost even more money just to do the work. That's what Texas is having to do right now. They're having to go into special sessions because they spent so much time attracting the LGBT community. They didn't take care of business, and now they're in a whoops. Oh, fuck. We didn't pass all the things we need to pass for Texas to operate for the next 2 years because they only meet every other year.
Yeah.
And so these idiots are actually, the tax and spend Republicans are actually spending more money because they actually figured out they had to do their jobs. That wasn't too smart. And this is typical of Republicans and their performative queeniness. Happy Pride, motherfuckers. But the next one is again, I call it food made by gay hands. A lot of people that work in the service industry are LGBT. It's very common. It's a lot of hospitality. You had a career in hospitality in the hotel industry. I worked in the resort industry. I've worked in the restaurant industry. I still do food delivery part-time to make ends meet. My mom retired from owning 2 restaurants, even though my mom's not LGBT. I don't want to make people think that. But the food service industry, one of the funny things is I know several Chick-fil-A's, and I knew one back in Texas. It literally had more queer people working there than the gay bar down the street. It literally was like walking into a gay bar. And I mean, the general manager was a drag queen at night. They had 3 different trans people working there. It was very, very queer. When you walked in, you literally went, wow, I'm amongst my people. These are Chick-fil-A's. Chick-fil-A, the food industry, and the top 500 companies in the United States all practice diversity and inclusion. And there's a reason, ever since the Civil Rights Acts of the 1960s, the top performing companies in the world realize inclusion matters. They realize diversity of ideas, people coming from different walks of life, different experiences, actually make their company richer. They actually perform better. And they actually make more money when you do diversity and inclusion. And that's why Chick-fil-A is doing it. They're owned by greedy white people that go, you know what? I know that it's kind of woke and all this, but if woke makes us money, guess what? We're going to do it. NASCAR does diversity and inclusion. All these brands that these redneck idiots think Walmart has done diverse. They started doing diversity and inclusion before it was even called diversity and inclusion.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, Walmart hired more trans people in the early 2000s and 2010s than Target did. Walmart is a very inclusive, very progressive company on certain things. Paying workers, their baseline workers, not so much, but their diversity inclusion's always been there. And so they're very aware of hiring LGBT people. Many of their management is queer. And the Walton family invests a lot of money into the arts in Northwest Arkansas, a lot of money into specialized children's programs. They don't realize how woke a lot of these companies are, because woke is aware and kindness, and good corporate citizens invest back into their communities. And idiots like the pillow guy is not really a corporate citizen, but a huckster and a thief, and a liar. Those type of people don't. They're scammers. They go from scam business to scam business, just like the Trump bucks and the Trump trading cards or whatever they were. They were supposed to be NFTs. Trump universities. These are all different scam businesses. These people are into privatizing the schools so they can make money off the schools. Not real worried about kids learning anything. But real companies, real grown-up companies run by grown-ups realize that diversity matters. And they've called it under other names like affirmative action, other things like that. But companies back in the 1970s, the top 100 of the top 1,000 companies in the United States did the most diversity and inclusion amongst people of color. That's why they were the top 100.
Exactly. Yeah.
Leaders lead.
Yeah.
Republicans, like this week, they're trying to make this debt deal and all this. I'm going,
mm-hmm.
Republicans want congratulations for the fire they started.
Mm-hmm.
And case in point, during Reagan, they raised the debt ceiling 18 times without a debate. 18 times under tax and spend Reagan. Party of unphysical responsibility. And never thought twice about it. Under Reagan. Mr. Conservative. Okay. Reagan was dumber than a fence post. He made movies with a monkey. He acted with a monkey. It wasn't like he was doing Shakespeare in the Park or any real high art. He made movies with a monkey and did sports commentary. Like, he was not. This guy wasn't no Mensa member by any means, it's kind of funny that they forget this. Under Bush, they raised the debt ceiling 7 times, and under Trump, 3 times. Same president that added 25% to our debt. And so it's like they want to be looked at as the firemen. They're actually the arsonists. And they wanted to wreck the world's economy for political points. We would have gone into a Great Depression if we not struck the deal that wasn't really supposed to be a deal. But anyway, we're up against our first break, and we'll be back with some more Two Queers in a Truck. Hey, everybody, you can catch us on your favorite audio podcast platform, Spotify, and all Apple Store, the Google machine, and whoever else does podcasts. We're on there. We broke in, and we're staying. So enjoy the Two Queers in a Truck on your favorite audio podcast platform. Thanks for listening or watching. Bye, boo. Happy Pride.
Hey everyone, we just want to wish you a happy Pride. June is International Pride Month, and we're celebrating it all month long. Also, we do want to thank those who watch us on Facebook and YouTube, and the people who now listen to us on your favorite audio podcast platform. We want to thank you. Don't forget that our summer schedule is out, so we have our topics that we'll be covering in July and also in August. And just want to say happy Pride. I'll dance out. Happy Pride, everyone.
And these idiots, and they are idiots. The Republican Party, they've always been idiots for a long time. But to tell you how unqualified this new House of Representatives is with McCarthy, McCarthy is a mental, his IQ must be barely above barely breathing, because some of the members of the House are even saying, we're not going to negotiate with our captives, meaning the Democrats and the American economy. I'm like, there's nothing to negotiate. If you want to negotiate the budget, you do that during the budget time. But clearly, they're like 2-year-olds. They want congratulations when they go to potty by themselves. They are intellectual 2-year-olds in grown-up jobs, scary upper management jobs. I am drag queens pay taxes, churches pay hush money. You know, this big push from the churches and the church lobbies against the LGBT community, because that's where all these attacks are coming from. It's funny how drag queens contribute to the economy. RuPaul's show is an international show. There's Drag Race Australia, there's Drag Race England, there's Drag Con, which is a convention that happens in May every year, right before Pride season. It's kind of funny how drag queens have become an integral part of our economy and entertainment. And churches are always having to pay hush money. They're always trying to keep their sex scandals and child rape under wraps. Like, that is, I guess, the church's contribution to our economies. They're paying families to be quiet about them diddling little Johnny, you know, at Vacation Bible School or whatever, or the little priest training, you know, for altar boys. And it's kind of bizarre, but that's really what the churches are sexual assault factories, is that they literally work one day a week. And so I guess they have 7 days to come up with these schemes, you know, and it's kind of funny that churches don't pay taxes. They're a taker from our economy. They take tens of billions of dollars out of our economy and don't contribute anything back except mayhem, harassment, sexual assault. You know, you got a Joel Osteen that's hiding stacks of $100 bills in the walls of his house. To money, I guess he was going to money launder it. I don't know what he was going to do. I don't know if he was investing into other illicit businesses. You know, you these are people that need to be taxed. Churches need to pay a really high tax, because if they don't, they spend the money like it's burning a hole in their pocket. You've seen this with, you know, Pat Robertson and the 700 Club or whatever. I guess it's still on there. I don't watch crap like that. You know, I think it's weird that they solicit donations for their invasions of other countries so they can go diddle 11-year-old girls in the Philippines, and I guess 11-year-old boys too, and have you pay for it. So they have these little sex and rape vacations. They call them missions, but we all know what they really are. They want to go to these developing nations and do what they want. Well, then that's the truth. Right? I mean, that's why Mormons send those boys, these young men, off to these countries, and go do whatever the fuck they want for a couple of years, and when you come back, you become a man. I mean, and that was the whole point of why Mormons do that. Catholics do the same thing. They send people off on mission trips. And the Baptists, I'll help people in Haiti. You didn't help anybody in Haiti. They went over there and went to Haitian whorehouses. And these are these sex vacations. They go to they're the original pedophile islands. That's why they love going to these island countries and exploiting them and screwing them over, because they're not going to get any big donations from these island nations. Most of them are they don't really even want them there. Who wants some pompous ass fucking Slick Willie type child rapist on their freaking island or in their country? They really don't. They don't contribute anything. Again, the church doesn't really contribute anything to society. They're nothing but leeches and deadbeats that sit there and put their hand out in front of you, going, it's the Lord's money, and they want to guilt you into giving money for what? For what? What do you do besides terrorize queer people and and have to pay hush money because you got so many pedophile pastors and priests that you're never held accountable. The government never holds them accountable. The fastest way to hold them accountable, then when this happens, civil suit kicks in automatically. You have to pay all the families, and you have to sell that church, sell that campus. It gets auctioned off. It cannot be a church again. You can't buy it back. It has to go to a different kind of business. If it's open as a church, it's shut down, and you mow the building to the ground. You seize the property again, and you sell it through a government tax auction. And then you don't have these problems. That'll snap them in the line. You won't have because the QAnon and all those conservative groups keep talking about child trafficking. I'm like, no, child trafficking isn't happening around the world. It's happening right here. And the first place you need to look at is churches. Period. End of story. Number one category. The next one is, I told you, we predicted it on this show. Big gay Ethan Schmidt. You know, the little Arizona terrorist that pulls down little Target signs and throws them and stomps them. He's been outed on a gay dating app. It's not Grindr.
No way!
Oh,
no way, Jenny.
It's bigger than Dallas because Ethan has one of those anonymous profiles, but he sent his picture, and sure as shit, it's fucking Ethan. And it is.
You've got to send us that information so we can share that. When did this happen? It's the first time I heard this.
Oh, it's circulating around Twitter like
oh my gosh!
Because can you imagine? Here, I'm gonna send it to your messenger. But the conversation, they said it was on Grindr, but it's a different format. It's probably Scruff. It says, "Take a selfie for me, babe." Okay, daddy, but only because I'm hard for you. That's Ethan saying that. Then it was a thumbs up, and then sure enough, he sent the picture. Clear as fucking day. It's fucking Ethan Schmidt, and I mean, you can't make this shit up. And it's okay.
You called it on this show. We knew there was something, and you mentioned there was something bizarre going on there.
I've been following this dude for years because he was one of the original COVID protesters that he would go to stores. Why I got in trouble in some of the stores was he was pulling down masks off shelves and throwing them on the ground, like he did with that pride sign. That's not the first time he's acted like that. He acts like a drunk toddler half the time. But the other thing I've always noticed about him is that he has one particular dude that he hangs out with a lot. The second thing is Ethan is surprisingly feminine, very, very like an in the closet sissy gay male.
Very well, as most of the MAGA people are.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah. But, yeah. I mean, exactly.
But Ethan was particularly queeny, and I've noticed that the company keeps all happen to be men's. They all happen to be of the male persuasion. And like one of them, the one he hangs out with the most is a taller, pretty good looking dude. Like, and I never see him. He never talks about a girlfriend. He's a man of age where he should be dating girls. Or he should be dating somebody besides his hand. And, and so, he got outed. And this is the era of accountability because now you may think it's anonymous, but he's all over the Twitterscape. He's pretty well known all over the country. And, and he's hitting up some local dude. This local dude's seen him on the news and immediately.
So tell me about this. So when did the person who he sent the picture to posted? Is that how it happened, or what? Okay.
Posted it, with the split screen of Ethan a picture of Ethan stomping the pride sign. But
Okay.
you can see the pictures side by side in the meme. There's no way it's not Ethan.
Yeah.
It is. You talk about receipts.
Yeah.
You know, and you got Ethan being all hard for this dude, and because it's the oldest thing in the book.
Yeah.
You don't manifest and talk about how much you hate gayness, and that's your favorite subject. You actually go into stores to hate gayness.
Mm-hmm.
If you ain't sucking dick. Okay. There's just no way around it. You know, the first time I saw big old Queen Ethan getting all mad about mass, I was like, boy, this dude is a queen and a half. Like you, especially with that mustache he has. I said, that is a very gay dude looking mustache.
Yes.
Got that handlebar mustache, and I don't see many straight men wear a style like that. That's a very, very gay man look. Like he presented himself as very queer.
Yes.
Even back in his mass protesting days when he was going off about mass. Now that mass aren't the popular target anymore. And
I can't believe you didn't lead with that story.
I wanted to save it towards the end. I think it's fabulous.
That is
what a gift for Pride Month. I think it's probably Ethan's way of coming out. He's definitely on the prowl. Arizona, watch out. He's on the prowl for some man time.
Oh my goodness gracious.
He's
this is crazy.
Inside of his Proud Boy area. But anyway, we're up against our second breaker. We'll be right back with some more Two Queers in a Truck. Hey y'all, it's International Pride Month, and I want to wish everybody, our fellow queer neighbors and our allies, a happy Pride Month. Spend money in Target and your local queer black and brown businesses as well. But happy Pride. Thanks for watching this show, and be safe out there.
Happy Pride.
Happy Pride, Dave.
Hey everyone, thank you so much for watching us on Two Queers in a Truck. Don't forget, you can watch us anytime at your leisure on our video podcast platforms like Facebook and YouTube. But you can also listen to us, either this show or any of our past shows, on our audio podcast platforms like Apple, Amazon, Google, Spotify, and all of the other ones. So once again, thank you for watching Two Queers in a Truck. I hope you enjoy our show. It's classic. Oh my God. He's probably, I bet Ted Cruz is going, please don't find me.
Oh, and you know, there's something somewhere out there on Ted Cruz too. It's just Ted Cruz probably isn't savvy enough to figure out how to work these dating apps. But we are back, and yeah, no, I mean, as soon as that meme came out, I think it was either Monday or Tuesday, it spread like wildfire. It spread like cocaine through the Republican convention. I mean, it spread faster than friggin' Lindsey Graham's legs in a weightlifter contest. You know, like it. I mean, we're talking. I mean, first of all, this guy, vaguely made some threats that he's going to hunt gay people next week. We just didn't know he was be hunting for dick. We didn't know that he's going to be on these dating apps looking for daddies. And so I guess that's what he actually meant was he's on the hunt. He's on the prowl. And it's friggin' hilarious. And I knew he was a bottom.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, he has bottom all over the face. Like he's clearly. I mean, it just confirmed what we all knew. The next deal is the target audience for The Little Mermaid is little kids, but for some reason, grown white men really went away on the new Little Mermaid movie, and it is grown white men are really showing their ass. I mean, they are losing their mind because the new Ariel that's got a live action cast, like Melissa McCarthy, the comedian, she's playing Ursula, the big sea witch, and all that, which is perfect casting. I mean, she has the acting and comedic chops to be Ursula. Like, there's no doubt. But the Little Mermaid's being played by an actress of color, and and I think it's very bizarre that a fictional mermaid has to be white, but Jesus, a man from North Africa, also has to be white. And that fictional characters, whether it's Jesus or the Little Mermaid, which they're both fictional, have to be certain colors for the thin-skinned white supremacists in our country. If you want to see white supremacy on display, cast what they think should be traditionally a white character in a friggin' movie. Cast a black woman or a Hispanic woman in that role. And they'll lose their flipping minds over a little kids movie. Their target audience is probably the target audience for the movie is like 4 to 10-year-old little girls, and little boys that want to go see the Little Mermaid and see little talking fish. And the original cartoon version of it was really, really cute. But it has little songs, and there's a little lobster that's singing little songs, and a little yellow fish, and and King Trident or King Neptune or whatever he is, and they all got mermaid tails on themselves, and it's meant for children. It's a children's movie. It's not intellectual. They sing little songs and like Under the Sea and all this, and it's really, really cute. But there's no reason that a mer person of any kind has to be white. Jason, they didn't lose it when Jason Momoa played Aquaman. And he's a person of color. He's Samoan. He's not white. I mean, you can look at him, you can tell. He's not a white guy. He's not like Thor. And so I think it's funny because in the cartoons in the past, it used to be a blonde-haired white guy that played Aquaman. They didn't lose it over Jason Momoa. That's either because they're super attracted to him, because Jason Momoa is extremely hot and got muscles on top of muscles, and it serves their gay fantasies. They're like, oh no, Jason Momoa is okay. Either that or they don't understand that he's Samoan, and they think that that's, I guess, a part of Western Europe or something. I mean, you don't know, because conservatives are so dumb. I don't think that they they don't lose it about him. But a Little Mermaid movie, that it's kind of creepy that they lose it over a little kids movie. But then again, they're the same political party that wants to inspect kids' genitals too. So, I mean, like their seasonal racism kicks in when they think they need to be heard on a kids movie that's already been cast and shot and filmed. Like, does it really matter? Kids are going to go see this, and I'm not going to care that it's a black woman that plays the Little Mermaid. And she's just as cute as she could be, by the way. She's a very pretty woman, and insanely talented. And the reviews of the movie are very, very good. And obviously it's Disney. Disney doesn't really make a bad movie, but one, it's Disney, so they just think Disney's the king and queens of wokeism and liberalism. When they just cast a talented person and said, you look like Ariel. you look like the Little Mermaid. She does look like the Little Mermaid. She's just as cute as the white cartoon character, but as a real person versus a hand-drawn cartoon character, and played a really good Little Mermaid, by the way. So Biden had a viral moment here recently, and it really, Brian Tyler Cohen really highlighted it on his show, on his podcast. And it really struck is we kind of forget, because Trump's been gone long and has not been in office, for almost, now going on almost 2.5 years. So we kind of forget what a dick he is, what just an absolute piece of shit Trump is. Until you see moments like Biden was having a press conference the other day, and this baby started crying. And I mean, it was wailing. It was upset. Whatever happened to it, it was not having it. He was doing a press conference for a college women's sports team, and they were having a whole White House moment and everything else. And for the college basketball national champions. And this baby's losing it. And finally Biden says, "Hey, what's the matter?" And starts talking to the mom and to the baby. And Biden in his own deal goes, finally at the end, when he's having this exchange, and you can see the sweetness, you can see the grandpa come out of it. He said, "No, kids are always right. My house is ruled by my kids and my grandkids, basically." And he said, "Well, I'd be crying too, because I'm bored with me as well." It was this, everybody laughed. He made it a very light moment. It was very, Biden has that dry, self-deprecating humor that Biden has, but he's also trying to say, hey, this is a family moment. This is we should have levity. We're celebrating a basketball championship. We're not curing cancer here. He's not.
Exactly.
Biden's not so self-absorbed. He's having a moment. A moment of playfulness that presidents very few times can do that during their presidency, because they're dealing with Russian invasions and Republicans and all kinds of other stuff. But what Brian Tyler Cohen did best was he also compared and contrasted to a time when a baby cried during Trump's press conference, and Trump basically said, "Get the fuck out." He addressed it. The woman didn't leave, and he goes, "Oh no, you must think that I'm kidding. Yeah, I really want a baby crying during my press conference." I was being this absolute fucking dick, but you can see the difference in humanity and the difference in empathy between a President Biden that, all politicians are squirmy. But Biden has some kind of monicum of decency in him, that he actually cares about people. He cares about his family. He cares about his wife, his children, his grandchildren. And you could see it in that moment. You could see what normally even the most shitbaggy presidents would have been okay with it. They understand that it's a baby, and that babies cry for no reason. They cry for some reasons. Like, they just, baby being drugged to a press conference isn't necessarily the place where you would bring a baby, but sometimes it has to happen. And or maybe it was one of the coaches or something like that. But anyway, you saw the humanity of our current president, and then contrast it with the absolute lack of humanity that not only Republicans don't possess, but especially Trump. He had, and that's why he was willing to let so many people die during COVID. He sat there and let these conspiracy theories foster when he could have squashed it early on. He just said, "No, you need to wear a mask. For God's sake, wear a mask." He should have been a president. Leaders lead, and I say this all the time. He made some definite choices during COVID before the vaccine released. He created such a monster. When he went to that Candace Owens interview in 2021, I said, "No, I invented the COVID vaccine. It's all because of me. I took it myself. I took the boosters." Because yeah, he's selfish and narcissistic, and he's gonna preserve himself. But his followers had gotten so worked up about the COVID vaccine, the conspiracy theories surrounding it, they got mad at him. And this is the problem with these idiots, is that the problem doesn't stop and start with them. Once they ramp, just like Hitler ramped up all these Nazis, all these crazy bigoted idiots in Germany, there was a minority amount of people, and it went from being, we need to turn our country around, to genocides and invasions out of World War II. And this is why you don't need to elect fascist bigots. You want them to have some kind of humanity. You want to have them know that they have some kind of awareness that the world does not revolve around them. And you compare and contrast that to Biden, he's human. He's relatable. He actually gives a shit if this world burns down, because the years in front of Biden are a lot shorter than the years behind him. He's 80 years old. Mm-hmm. But he also realized he wants to live the world in this country in a better place than when he found it, in the middle of a recession, a massive out-of-control pandemic, with a president that had no clue on how to distribute the vaccines. He made sure he got his shot in the arm, and he didn't give a shit how it got distributed to the regular American people. And out of control fascism at its worst. And so I think it's amazing. It was a great moment for Biden. It went viral. It went so viral that the Biden political team actually made a commercial out of it, comparing it to Trump's reaction, because it's a great compare and contrast to who Democrats are and the lack of intellectual capacity, especially emotional intelligence. Republicans just don't have it. They fucking lose it over pride flags and fucking things that don't even matter to them, except for because they're so politically driven, and they're stupid. They just really are stupid. They're like 2-year-olds, except 2-year-olds typically grow out of it, but Republicans just didn't. But that's all we have for this week. The show went by fast. Happy Pride to everybody. It's International Pride Month, and we'll be celebrating queerness all month. And congratulations to Ethan for coming out. I hope he enjoys this Pride season hunting for gay men. Good luck, Ethan.
Bye, Boo.
Bye, Boo. Thanks for watching, everybody, for Two Queers in the Truck. And it's raining men in Arizona and Ethan Schmidt's life. But anyway, y'all have a great week. Bye, Boo.
Bye, Boo.